Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
Waiting to rise again.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Hour 2, Football Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Last hour of the week for us. Fried up, you're here with us. If you're looking for coverage tomorrow, we got you covered starting at 1:30. It'll be Eagle 98.1 game day from Rouse's. Charles Hannegriff and Matt Musso for 3 hours getting you ready for LSU and Clemson. At that point, they'll hand it off to the LSU Sports Radio Network. That's me. Brandon Taylor and Marlon Favorite will be with me inside Tiger Stadium at 4:30. We'll go until about 6:30-ish tomorrow. For those that aren't aware, kickoff is at 6:52. If you check your TV guide, it's still going to say 6:30, but they got a lot of pregame that they're going to do there. So 6:52 is when kickoff is, but I'll be on from 4:30 to about 6:30, getting you ready for LSU and Clemson. Then after the game goes final, 30 minutes after the whistle sounds, Brandon, Marlon, and myself back for an hour. And then 90 minutes after the game goes final, Charles Hannegriff and Richard Dixon from right here in studio for Eagle 98.1 Game Day's post-game show. So starting at 1:30 on Eagle 98.1 all the way till the wee hours of the morning on Sunday, we will have you covered for LSU and Clemson. Of course, that's probably the headliner amongst the SEC games outside of Texas and Ohio State. That doesn't mean we're not going to pick them all, though. Beck, before we start, Missouri last night.
That's true.
They were laying what, 38?
39.5.
What was the final?
61-6.
Give it to me. God, you love to hear that sound. 1-0. Will that be our high mark of the year? One game over 500. It could be. We hope it's not. Let's get things started. We're still using the same song, baby. Let's do them in chronological order here, and we start in the morning tomorrow with a big one, Texas and Ohio State. The Buckeyes are 1.5-point favorites. Ohio State has 2 new coordinators and a redshirt freshman quarterback. Texas defense, I think, is going to be really good. Anthony Hill's an awesome linebacker. Colin Simmons is going to break out this year on the edge. I think Texas is better than Ohio State. I'm not just going to give Ohio State the benefit of the doubt. It is at home. I think they've got talent, but I think Texas is a little bit more proven. I'll take the Horns plus the 1.5 in the shoe. Syracuse and Tennessee. That game is also at 11 o'clock. It's out in the ATL. Vols are 13.5-point favorites. Joey Aguilar is the starting quarterback for Tennessee. 24 interceptions in 24 games at Appalachian State. For Syracuse, Kyle McCord is gone. He led the country in passing last year. Steve Angeli came in from Notre Dame, beat out Ricky Collins. Here's the deal with Tennessee. They're replacing Nico. They're replacing Dylan Sampson, the SEC Player of the Year. They're replacing Brew McCoy. They're replacing Squirrel Wright. They're replacing 4 offensive linemen. That's a concern for me. Their defense is going to be good, but this is too many points. I like Syracuse against Tennessee. I like them to stay within the 13.5. Give me the Qs and the points. A lot of folks on Southern Miss here. They are hosting Mississippi State. I heard Jimmy and Charlie talking about this one early, and I like their reasoning. Southern Miss has basically got Marshall's entire team from last year that won 10 games at Marshall, now in Hattiesburg. Mississippi State's got to go there. They're laying 13.5. But look, it's an SEC team. I realize they lost to Toledo by 1,000 last year. They ought to be a little bit better. Everybody's thinking they're taking Southern Miss here. I'm going the other way. Give me the dogs. Cowbell, Klanga, Blake Shapen, Shreveport, Mississippi State. Let's go. 13.5. They're laying it. Give me the dogs minus 13.5. Toledo, who team we just mentioned, who crushed Mississippi State last year, they're going to Kentucky, and they're catching 9.5. And I'm not going to analyze this game at all. Kentucky shouldn't be laying 9.5 to anybody. That program is toast. Mark Stoops signed his death warrant in Kentucky when he took the A&M job and then went back. That is over. His day in the sun is done. They're going to be awful again this year like they were last year. They may not even win the game against Toledo. Give me the Rockets in Lexington at the big grocery store. Marshall is at Georgia. That's an afternoon kickoff in Sanford Stadium. As you just mentioned, Marshall lost everybody last year. All I'm asking is that Marshall scores 10 points. If they score 10, Georgia's going to have to score 50, which they can do. but I also think Georgia's going to run the ball a lot. I need Marshall to score 10. Can they do it? I'm going to count on the Thundering Herd with a billion new players to score 10 points. Give me Marshall plus 38.5 against Georgia. Bama, Florida State. Here's a big one for you. 2:30 kick our time over in Tallahassee. I think Alabama's going to run the ball a ton. Even without Jam Miller, who's out with the shoulder injury, I think they're going to run it a lot. I think Mike Norvell is a pretty good coach. The 2-10, I'm going to just throw out as an aberration. Maybe 13-0 is too. 2-10 is ridiculous. They're going to be better than that this year. I don't love their quarterback running his mouth, but that half a point seems like a big deal. I'm going to hold my nose here and take Florida State plus the 14.5. I don't love the pick, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm taking a lot of points these days. All right, I'm not taking a side on Alabama A&M at Arkansas, Illinois State at Oklahoma, Long Island against Florida. Still mad about Long Island blowing the regional opener against North Carolina 2 years ago in Chapel Hill that probably cost LSU a chance to go to Omaha. But I'm not picking it because there's no line on it. All those FCS teams, including Charleston Southern at Vanderbilt, I'm not taking any of those games. So let's go to the night slate. UTSA is at Texas A&M. 22.5 is the number. The Aggies are going to run for 300 yards in this game. UTSA's got a good coach. They had a good year last year. I still think Texas A&M is going to run for 300 yards. Whether or not that and running the clock a lot is going to be enough to cover 22.5 remains to be seen. I think it will. I think A&M's pretty good this year. I think they're going to be fired up to play. I think UTSA is somebody they know is pretty good from their state. Give me the Aggies to cover 22.5 in Kyle Field. Georgia State at Ole Miss. Georgia State beat Vanderbilt last year. I think you're all very aware of that. They were still 113th in the country in total defense and 116th in scoring defense. That's not good against Lane Kiffin's offense. Really not good. And I think it's very, very easy to see Ole Miss scoring 60 points in this game. I kind of feel about this game like I did about Missouri last night. Just feels like Ole Miss is going to score a billion. 34.5 is not a ton. I will take Ole Miss. I will lay the points. And then last up here from the ATL, Virginia Tech and South Carolina on Sunday afternoon in Mercedes-Benz. The line on this one is 7.5. South Carolina lost a ton on defense. They've still got probably the best edge rusher in the SEC, and that certainly matters. And they've got the most dynamic player on the field in Lenora Sellers. They don't have Rocket Sanders. I don't know who Sellers is going to throw it to. Are we still going to buy into Nick Harbor at this point just because he's big and runs fast? I don't know. This is another one where that half a point feels impactful. Florida State should smash Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's not good. But the line's only 7.5. Why? I'll take that half a point and feel like South Carolina might win this one by 7. Maybe Virginia Tech gets a backdoor cover. Give me the Hokies to cover against Coach Beamer, 7.5.
Do we need to do Auburn Baylor? Did we forget about that one?
I forgot about it.
There you go. Auburn and Baylor.
It's at the top of my sheet. Let's do it because it's tonight. I have a lot of notes on this. I just didn't read it off the sheet. So let's talk about tonight's game, which I'm excited to watch the second half of after dinner. Numbers 2.5. Baylor has 4 offensive line starters back and Sawyer Robertson back, who had the 5th best quarterback rating in college football last year. We saw Josh Cameron in the bowl game. He looked very good at wide receiver. I think he's a good player. So I think that Baylor can throw this year. Their defense was terrible last year. Dave Aranda's got to get that fixed. They went to the portal, got a bunch of guys from lower levels. They got to figure something out on defense. If there's anybody I trust to play some defense, it's got to be Dave Aranda, right? Now, Auburn's recruiting rankings blow Baylor out of the water. Hugh Freeze has recruited well there. Cam Coleman is going to have a breakout season at wide receiver. He's going to be awesome. Is Jackson Arnold any good? We did SEC Power Rankings on Wednesday. I don't know if Jackson Arnold's any good. I don't know. So I look at this game, and everyone's saying, well, just hammer Auburn because they got a lot better players. Is their quarterback any good? They're on the road. I know Baylor's quarterback's good. Give me the Baylor Bears. Baylor Bears plus 2.5 on the road. Coach Aranda. Love Coach Aranda. Big time fan of Coach Aranda. Need Coach Aranda tonight to take out Coach Freeze there on the... I don't know what they call it. I can't think of the name of the river.
Oh,
Brazos River?
Yeah, the Brazos. Yeah, Brazos. Is
that right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
We'll have to look that up at the break. I think that's right. It's a gorgeous setting. Baylor built that new stadium right there on the river. It looks great. I love some good sailgating. I've never done it, but I'm very much would like to get involved on the Vol Navy at Seattle.
Yeah, that's correct. You're right.
Brazos River?
Yep.
How about that? Right there.
I don't know if it's Brazos or Brazos. I'm not
Brazos.
sure.
It's actually Brazos. You know how I know that?
How?
Calling the Texas Collegiate League, Baton Rouge Rougarou. They play the Brazos Valley Bombers.
Man, see that's why you do it, Hunt. So you get all that knowledge.
Gotta pronounce things properly on the radio. I do it wrong all the time, but you'd like to try the Brazos Valley Bombers, so Brazos River. Gotta think that's correct.
It.
All right, those are my picks. We'll run through them one time quickly. Baylor plus 2.5. Baylor plus 2.5. Texas plus 1.5. Syracuse plus the 13.5. Mississippi State laying 13.5. Toledo plus 9.5. Marshall plus 38.5. Florida State plus 14.5. The Aggies laying 22.5. The Rebels laying 34.5. And Virginia Tech plus 7.5. Those are my picks. It could be a monster year. I could be 30 games over 500 by the end of this.
You could be. It's possible.
I am white hot right now.
You are 1-0.
We like that. Tonight, we go to 2-0 with Coach Aranda. We feel good about that. All right, our Friday show is brought to you by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Got a team, folks coming over to the house tomorrow to watch some football. Get on by Corks, get some catering, and make everybody happy. If you're just looking for dinner this evening, po' boy, Corks can help you with that. Government between Foster and Jefferson, corksfishandshrimp.com. There is one aspect of this game I have not talked about really at all, and I've saved it for this segment coming up. We'll talk about it coming up next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team, 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. Safety is a big deal in the bathroom. I was talking to David last week about some of the safety installations that they've done. It's something that he does significant amount. If you've got a loved one in your life that may be aging, the bathroom could be pretty hazardous, and you want to mitigate against that, call David. Say, hey, let's talk about this. Non-slip floors, walk-in tubs, showers with benches, guardrails at slippery places, all that could be a big, big help and a big, big change in a hazardous area. David and his team are happy to help you with it start to finish. If you're thinking about financing, they've got that. 0% up to 18 months if you qualify for it. Go see some of their great work at onebathandclosets.com. You'll see reviews from their satisfied customers, and you can request that free consultation. That part is free to have a discussion. David is happy to do it. It's One Bath and Closets. Check them out online. OneBathAndClosets.com.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp.
All right, it's getting close. LSU and Clemson. Tomorrow night, 6:30 is kickoff time. Sorry, that's not even close. 6:52 is kickoff time Central. So if you're looking for coverage tomorrow, we have got you covered really all afternoon into the wee hours of Sunday morning. 1:30 p.m., Eagle 98.1 Game Day, Charles Hannegriff, Matt Musso from Rouse's, 3 hours LSU football coverage. Charlie's been running it for years. He will have you covered tomorrow with Musso at Rouse's. They'll hand it off to me with the LSU Sports Radio Network at 4:30. I will go until probably about 6:20, and then we'll hand you off to the network. It'll be myself, Brandon Taylor, and Marlon Favorite. We'll hand you off to Chris Blair over in Clemson. 30 minutes after it goes final, we're on the post-game show on the network. Be about an hour. Myself, Marlon, Brandon breaking it down. And then 90 minutes after the game goes final, Eagle 98.1 Games Day's post-game show, Charles Hannegriff and Richard Dixon from right here in studio. So lots of coverage coming your way tomorrow starting at 1:30. All right, let's talk LSU Clemson. Been a minute since we've done that now, and I want to get back into it. And I have not spent a lot of time on this aspect of this game. We have talked a lot about the quarterbacks. They're both very good. We have talked a lot about the receivers. They are very good. We have talked about the loss of A.J. Halsey, which is significant to LSU, but I don't think crippling. We've talked about Clemson's studs on the defensive front and their linebackers that have been very productive. I think LSU's defense is primed for a monster year, returning to the elite in college football. But one aspect of this game that we have not discussed on this show enough, in my opinion, which is why I kind of want to end the week with it, is LSU has to run the ball. You have to. And not only do you have to be productive in the ground game, you've got to commit to it. And the feeling is that LSU did not commit to the ground game enough. Now, whether you want to determine that LSU's rushing statistics stunk because they didn't commit to it or they didn't commit to it because they stunk at it, that is open for interpretation. But I can tell you that there are people that believe that LSU did not commit to the running game enough in that building last year. And you look at the statistics, and this is borne out. LSU ran the ball 373 times last year. That is dead last in the Southeastern Conference. Second to last is Auburn, who ran it 404 times. If you don't want to do math behind your steering wheel, I'll help you. Auburn was second to last in the SEC in rush attempts. They still ran the ball 31 more times. 31 more times than LSU and played one fewer game. 31 fewer attempts over the season and played one fewer game. If you want to look at attempts per game, LSU, of course, is dead last there at 28 per game. Georgia was second to last at 30 per game. Auburn, third to last at 33 per game. So Auburn's running it 5 more times. And if you want to go to the middle of the pack, which was Arkansas, Arkansas was running the ball 9 more times per game than you. And if you want to go towards the top of the league, Tennessee is running the ball 16 more times per game than you. Now, I realize they had the best rushing attack in the SEC, and LSU did struggle at times to run it. But you cannot compete for a championship with this roster if you don't commit in some way to the run. And I can hear you. What do you mean? Georgia got to the semifinal last year, and they were second to last in the league. I got it. But your program's not quite where Georgia's is. From a personnel perspective and from a skins-on-the-wall defensive coaching perspective, you don't have what Georgia has. You need to be a little bit more traditional in the way that you handle it. So what you have to be entering this game with Clemson is committed to running the ball, even if you get tackled for loss a few times. That cannot deter you. You can't bang your head into a wall for 4 quarters, but you also can't tuck your legs and quit after 2 drives. You have to try to run the ball. Now, I have asked folks on the Clemson beat how a defensive front that has 2 guys projected to go in the first round of the draft, Peter Woods, TJ Parker, can get eviscerated on the ground consistently last year. And the thought from the Clemson media is, well, terrible defensive coordinator. Tom Allen's come in, he'll fix the whole thing. That may be true, but it may not be true. It may not be true. They may be great pass rushers who are not great run stoppers. What do you need to do against great pass rushers that are not great run stoppers? Run the ball. There is a thought that Clemson's defensive front last year was too anxious to get up the field, too anxious to leave a gap assignment to try to win into the backfield. And sometimes when you do that, you vacate a hole. And if there are offensive linemen and running backs savvy enough to use that over-aggressiveness, that flaw in technique to create lanes, there you go. Louisville did it. The Citadel did it. Texas did it. South Carolina did it to an extent. Lenore Sellers did a lot of that, and LSU doesn't have that gear. But they can hand the ball off like those teams did. I will tell you this. I know 2 things. I know them. I'm not guessing, I know these 2 things. LSU spent a ton of time in the spring and in the fall in overhauling the scheme of their running game. They are doing things in a different way than they've done the last few years. With Jaden, it was a whole different kettle of fish. It's just not comparable. But last year to this year is. And they have changed the way they are operating from a running perspective. There's more misdirection. There is some under center. There are gadgets with Juwan Johnson. There are gadgets with Xavier Thomas. Garrett Nussmeier is going to tuck the football a little bit more often than he did last year. He's not going to become a 600-yard rusher, but he can pick up 3rd and 4. And I know this to be true. And I also know that there's a feeling in that football operations center that they've got to do a better job of committing to the run. You can't finish this year 16th in the SEC in rushing attempts. You can't finish this year in the SEC 15th or 14th in rushing touchdowns. And here's the deal with this game. You've got a new offensive line. We know this. It's going to be really loud in there. We know this. What's easier to do for a young offensive line, an inexperienced offensive line, in a very, very loud stadium? Is it easier to fire off the football and hit somebody against a defensive line that was almost worse than the ACC in run defense? Or is it easier to sit on your heels, stare at the football, wait for the snap, then turn your head back up and try to pass block TJ Parker and Peter Woods? It's an easy answer. They've got to find a way to knock Clemson out of the way sometimes. I am not asking for them to run for 292 yards like Texas did. That's unrealistic. I'm asking for a commitment to the run, for Caden Durham to get 18 to 22 carries in this game, for Caden Durham to get a couple, for Harlem Berry to get a couple. I'm told he will play tomorrow. Expect Harlem Berry to touch the football. And they've got to commit to it and just get that 3 or 4 yards when you can. LSU didn't average nothing on the ground. They got 4.1 yards per carry. They were only 11th in the league in that metric. They weren't dead last. And there may be something to what we saw in camp where, yeah, loss of 1. Yep. 2-yard gain. Yep. Loss of 4. 60-yard run. And LSU busted some of those last year. Durham got loose twice against South Carolina, partly because he made guys miss on tackles. But yeah, first play of the game against Alabama, Durham, right off the right side, busted it down the sideline. Those plays were there sometimes for LSU last year. You've got to commit to them even when there's stuff in the run. You've got to keep Clemson's pass rushers on their heels. And I am not convinced, to reinforce, I am not convinced that Clemson's defensive coordinator was such a buffoon last year that he so grossly mismanaged this defensive line that they're now completely cured of the issues that they had last year stopping the run. I don't think Tom Allen waved a wand in the spring and fall camp and now they're just elite run stoppers. Their scheme may be better. They may get better at it, but there are some warts there that I'm confident are still there. You have to try to run the ball. Use Caden Durham, use Caleb Jackson, use Harlem Berry, use Juwan Johnson, use Xavier Thomas. Run the ball 30 times in this game. I know it's easy to lean back on a fifth-year quarterback who threw for 4,000 yards. It's easy to call plays for Aaron Anderson and Barryon Brown and Chris Hilton. But if you get too sucked into doing that and you let Clemson pin their ears back, I watched that movie in College Station last year, and it sucks. I don't want to watch it again. Because you let Nick Scorton and that ferocious pass rush know what was coming, and even with a great pass-blocking offensive line, in that environment, with that noise against those pass rushers, the bottom fell out. You cannot get to that point. I'm not asking you to go 3 and out every time, banging your head against the wall, trying to run it on first and second down every time. But there's got to be a commitment to the run. And I'm confident that LSU is going to Clemson, South Carolina with that in mind. Whether or not they can execute it, I can't tell you that. But that is going to be very much front and center of what they're trying to do. We'll see if they can make it happen. It's an offensive line that didn't do a great job of blocking for the run when we were out there against the LSU defense. I'm suggesting that LSU defense with Jack Pyburn and Jacobian Guillory and Bernard Gooden and then Jamari Butler and Gabe Relaford is just tough to block. and Clemson's is going to be too. But I know Clemson's guys couldn't stop the run last year, and it's the same guys that were out there last year. This is a new LSU group that I think is just really good. So we'll see. That's my last kind of breakdown on this game between LSU and Clemson coming up on Saturday night. I do have my pick. It's coming up at the end of the show. I've got everybody's picks coming up on the station in our station survey that'll be live every Saturday morning on LouisianaSports.net. If you're looking for coverage of the LSU-Clemson game, preview the LSU-Clemson game, you're just chomping at the bit to watch this thing tomorrow night, and you want all the content you can get, there's a lot at LouisianaSports.net on Thursday. So yesterday, I did 3 matchups to watch. I wrote a column today on LSU's defense. There's thought on Garrett Nussmeier talking about how I think he's benefited this fall camp from playing against a good defense that's put some pressure on him and covered a little bit better. That's been a more comfortable learning environment. Well, shouldn't say it's been more uncomfortable, a better learning environment this year as opposed to years past where the offense just went up and down the field on the defense. I think that's going to help, and I think it's a sign that LSU's defense is good. I wrote about that. Also got a story out about the confidence of the defense on LouisianaSports.net. All you got to do is go to LouisianaSports.net and click on teams and then click on LSU. Then you get a page that's just all LSU content. If that's all you want, you can find it there for free. That's our written avenue, LouisianaSports.net. Our Friday shows brought to you by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish, and Shrimp. We'll take a time out. When we come back, we'll get into some take it or leave it. My pick, 25 minutes from now.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com is that website. Storm season. In fact, today is 20 years since Hurricane Katrina made landfall back in 2005. Obviously, that's about as bad as it's gotten around here, and we never hope that happens again. But you understand the risks living here in this part of the world and that hurricanes show up this time of year. Make sure your insurance policy is ready to respond. Maybe after a hurricane, you won't be able to work for 10, 12 days. What does that do to your bottom line? If your business interruption limit is incorrect, or there's a 1/12 monthly limitation on it, so you don't get paid out in full, that sounded great when you paid the premium up front because you cut a corner. Now you're going to pay for that on the back end because you didn't have the right coverage. That's not going to happen to you at the Highland Insurance Group. Jonathan Carbo and his team are experts in coverage, and they will make sure not only that you're paying the proper premium, but that your coverage is set up to respond properly to a hurricane, to a car accident, to a lawsuit, to an injury, whatever the case may be. It's the Highland Insurance Group. They're based right here in Baton Rouge. Find them online at HighlandIG.com. It's the Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish, and Shrimp.
Got 25 minutes left here. My final pick for LSU and Clemson coming up at the end of the show. Beck, how are we feeling about Auburn-Baylor tonight? That's a juicy Friday night matchup. I like it.
I do. I really like it. I agree with everything you said about Baylor. Sawyer Robertson, yes, very good quarterback.
He played well in the bowl game last year.
Yeah, he did. Baylor's defense, was really bad.
Awful.
It's just really weird how Dave Aranda, who's a really good defensive coach, I guess just being a head coach just makes it to where he can't spend as much time as he would like, I guess, on the defense. So
I would have a slightly different take on that.
Well, maybe also he doesn't have the talent that LSU had. That probably is a factor as well.
I know he's really good with if he's got Chason and Shelvin and Rashard Lawrence.
That helps.
He's got Patrick Queen, Jacob Phillips, Derek Stingley, Christian Fulton, Grant Delpit. If he's got that crew, he's really good.
That's true. Yeah. So maybe Dave Aranda isn't a great defensive coach. He just had good players. I don't know. I would err on the side of being that he is still a good coach defensively, but.
I believe that too.
Yes, but yes, I love that. I love that pick for Baylor there. I think that's an easy one.
An easy one.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people suggesting Chris Marlar being one of them. Just hammer Auburn. They've got all the
Arnold
4 and 5
so
stars.
Bad. He's so bad, Hunt.
He could be bad.
He was really bad at Oklahoma. Why would he be any better at Auburn?
Wow, that Oklahoma offense last year. My God.
It was bad, but still, like they had some.
Still think about that Bauer Sharp throwing the ball in Tiger Stadium.
Oh, man.
Just a tough scene. Yet, Alabama went to Norman last year and just got their butts kicked.
Somehow. That's one of the more mind-boggling
I don't feel
games.
like that would have happened if Coach Saban was calling the shots in Tuscaloosa.
Probably not.
Just
not.
a hunch on that one. Shout out Coach DeBoer. Hope you get crushed in Tallahassee tomorrow. And I hope Chris Marlowe's not listening, so that'll make him sad. All right, take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Presented to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, crafted by America's oldest brewery. Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
I mean, I can't think of a better time than to go grab a six-pack of beers right now. It's a long weekend. It's a football weekend. There's great football tonight. There's great football tomorrow. The Tigers are on TV. There's great football on Sunday. And you probably don't have to work on Monday. So go grab a Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. It's still summertime. It's still scorching hot. And this is the light beer that you're going to want to take down. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, oldest brewery in America. All that beer flavor, all the things you like about a light beer. It's Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
All right, first one. The winning quarterback of LSU Clemson will be the Heisman betting favorite on Monday. Take it or leave it.
I'll leave it. It's very possible. But if Arch goes for 400 yards, then you are not going to get there. And I can also see a scenario where, like, Lenora Sellers just torches Virginia Tech on Sunday when everybody's watching that game. So it's very possible. If Klubnik or Nussmeier looks great, their team looks great, and they throw for 325 and 3 scores and no picks, absolutely it's possible. But I'll bet the opposite side of it.
Yeah, I'd go with you there as well. All right, next one. Jack Pyburn will equal his Florida sack total on Saturday. Take it or leave it.
I will take it. He's just got to get one. He's got to get one sack.
I think he can get one.
That'll do it. And as I've said many times, I think Pyburn is destined for a monster year this year. Maybe it's just because he's very confident when we talk to him, but I just feel really good about where he is in his college development. I think he's going to be great, and I think he will get back there and get a sack on Saturday night.
All right, next one. Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit on the call. Take it or leave it.
I'll take it. I'll take it. It might be the good vibes from them calling LSU and Clemson in the Dome for the national championship. I know that a lot of us, and I put us because I was very much in that number, watched the highlights or the full game a lot during COVID because there was nothing else on TV, and you want to pull up the old YouTube and watch LSU highlights from the greatest season you've ever seen. You got a lot of Herbstreit and Fowler on that. I think they both do a very good job. I think Herbstreit's really good on the analyst side. I think Fowler does a great job. He yells a lot, but I'm okay with yelling a lot, so I'm good with that. Give me some good juju from the national championship game. Hopefully they've got a lot of good things to say about the purple and gold on Saturday.
Yeah, I agree. They're both very good at the top of their profession, no question. So glad to see them on the call. Next one, Kirk Herbstreit will cry on set Saturday. Take it or leave it.
I mean, that's the
easiest one. Yeah,
for sure.
Might be the easiest one we've ever done.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of Corso stuff on Saturday morning. You know what? I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I don't have to see the 38th breakdown of Texas versus Ohio State on the edge. I'm not just desperate to see Tennessee's offense broken down or what the new transfers from Florida State are going to do against Alabama. Like, I'm not dying for it. So if they need to celebrate Lee Corso's phenomenal career on the game day set for half the show tomorrow, I'm fine with that. And ultimately, Herbstreit's going to cry a lot. That is certainly the case. I'm a little perplexed that Herbstreit's flying all over the place private with his dog, and Corso is at the Southwest Terminal. Did you see this video?
I didn't see that.
The gate agent got on the microphone and was like giving like almost a eulogy of Corso.
Okay.
At the local airport while he was waiting to get on a commercial flight. Get the guy on a private plane. He's old. Get on the plane.
Yeah, that's true. I can't see why. Or maybe he's a man of the people, hon. He just likes to fly Southwest, perhaps.
Private aviation. Get him on a private plane. That needs to happen. He's like 90.
He is 90 years old. That's correct. All right, next one. Notre Dame wins on the road at Miami. Take it or leave it.
I'm going to take it.
I'll take it.
I'm going to take it. This is probably the wrong pick. Miami's at home. Beck is a more proven commodity as a quarterback.
I agree.
I just think Mario Cristobal stinks.
Yeah,
I think
he's not
a bad
good.
coach.
Not good.
And I think Marcus Freeman's better, and I think their defense is still going to be good because he's a great defensive coach. I think they'll figure out a way to run the ball, and I think they'll beat Miami. I don't have a bit of analysis beyond that. I just think that I don't trust Mario Cristobal to win a big game.
Me neither.
There we are.
All right, next one. Dry August. Take it or leave it.
I guess I'll take it. Like we just wrapped it up. We're gonna. I've got 12 Flight by Yinglings in my fridge now.
So wait, hold on. What are we doing, hon? Are you telling me that are you gonna be drinking beer tomorrow?
After the game.
But tomorrow is August 30th, huh?
Yeah, but it's the weekend.
No, that's incorrect. This is dry August, not dry August minus 2 days.
Weekdays.
No.
I've done enough. That's enough.
What have you gained from this, huh?
I lost a lot of weight.
Okay, and do you not think that after this you're just going to start drinking more beer again?
So I've got a checks and balances. I also quit eating, and I ran every morning at 5 o'clock. I'm going to weigh every Friday now to try to stay a little bit more. I can't do what I just did for the last 26 days, 28 days, whatever it is. That was it's not a lot of fun, but it's effective.
Yeah.
But I want cold beers. I had some no alcohol beverages, which were quality. I did like that on the grill at the pool with Myers. I enjoyed that, but I need a cold pop. And going 4 weeks without a cold pop is just a tough scene. So
it is, but you signed up for it, huh?
Tonight we're going to dinner. I'm excited to have some cold beers, maybe a cocktail.
Wow.
Just tomorrow I got to do the show and post game. But after post game, which will be at 1 o'clock in the morning, I will certainly pour a cocktail. I miss it. I think there's a lot of people that go, I sleep so much better. I feel so much better. I don't know about any of that. I lost a ton of weight.
Well, Hunt, also, you weren't an alcoholic. I think that maybe some people that drink way too much and then stop probably feel a lot better. But yes,
I think to put this I think I'm going to do it every year. I think I can do we don't go on vacation in August. I don't have a birthday in August in my family. There's beach
is a possibility in August.
But I go to there's practice every weekend, so I'm I'm working on most of the weekends.
That's true.
It's just I did July last year. I can't do July. July you got SEC Media Days. All that is drinking beers. Yeah. I've got vacations, 4th of July. August I can lock in and just have a long month of no calories, no alcohol, and running a bunch. Not my best favorite way to do a month, but it was effective.
Yeah, and maybe next time you'll actually abide by the entire month and not just end it.
Depends on when the weekend is.
We'll see.
It's a holiday weekend. We're cracking back into it.
All right, last one. The Shark Dogs, which of course is Myers Palmer's soccer team, +5 tomorrow morning.
Oof.
That's a big line, huh?
It is a big line. The 4-year-olds took it to them last week. They're 3. It's tough.
That's
the Shark Dogs. To their credit, they scored 7 goals on Saturday. Just 3 of them were in the wrong goal.
Oh, hey, look, that happens.
It does happen. You get on
It happens even on the highest stage. We have on goals all the time.
You get a fast break opportunity. If it's the wrong goal, it's just the wrong goal. You put it in. But Myers man does not like when the other team scores. That does not make him very happy.
Good.
So we'll see what happens. I would have to not take the Shark Dogs.
Hey, look, you know what, Hunt? I'm taking it. I've seen some tape on Myers, and he looks like an absolute natural. I think he's going to be the next great soccer star to come out of the United States.
A parent said yesterday, it was actually Coach Kirk said, Myers is going to play soccer. He's going to be a soccer guy. He's not playing baseball.
He is.
I don't think that's true.
Look,
I don't think that's going to happen.
I'm telling you, watching the tape, Hunt, he's got some real natural ability. He's
the Shark Dogs have a commitment issue with some of the members of the squad. Some are a little bit more. Some are a little bit. I just whenever I watch Team USA play, I don't see as many players on my TV that want to stay with their moms and dads on the sideline and cry when they go on the field.
Yeah,
it's a tough to overcome.
It
out
is
there for the Shark Dogs.
It is, but I think they're going. 5 is a lot, huh? I'm taking the Shark Dogs in that one.
Hopefully there are cupcakes again after the game. Myers enjoyed that as well. He likes scoring goals. He does not like coming out of the game. We have to really work on that.
Yeah,
and
that's tough.
Does not like when the other team scores goals.
That's good, though. That's good.
He didn't catch on that they lost. So he said, did we win? I was like, yeah, definitely. They did.
Hey, look, I mean.
The 4-year-olds took it to him. I think they lost by 8.
Yeah, I mean, that's understandable. You got a whole other year. They got a whole year under their belts.
That's the beauty of it. You come back the next week, you watch the tape, you come out there, you play better.
Huh?
So the Shark Dogs are gonna take the pitch tomorrow.
Awesome.
9 a.m.
Nice.
Lock in.
I might have to come swing by a few of those games, son. I mean, I think it's going to be good stuff.
Come on out and see them. We only have 2 jerseys. We have the red jersey and the white jerseys. Tomorrow, we're the red.
You don't even have a blue jersey and you're the Shark Dogs? Wouldn't your colors not be blue?
I think every team in the league has a red jersey and a white jersey. Okay. You just pick which time you wear red, which time you wear white. We're in red tomorrow, so we'll see. All right. We got one thing left to do. That's a final pick. It's next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Genesis of Baton Rouge. GenesisofBatonRouge.com is the website. Every car that is on the lot is online at GenesisofBatonRouge.com. We're an online society, right? Get everything delivered to you. You don't even go in the stores anymore. And Genesis of Baton Rouge can help you out with that if that's the way you want to operate. They've got every single car in the inventory online. You can look at them, see pricing, check out all the features, see photographs, And if you decide there's one that suits your fancy, you want to test drive it, you don't have to go to the lot for that. They'll come to you. They'll come to your home. They'll come to your office, and you can test drive with one of their brand ambassadors. If you decide at that point, yeah, this is the one I need, well, that's fine. You don't have to go to the dealership for that either. They've got e-contracts. They can deliver the vehicle to you wherever you are. Easy as that. They make life easy on you at Genesis of Baton Rouge. Once you make that transaction and you're a Genesis driver, you don't have to go to the dealership for service either. They come to you, take the car in. Just life as a Genesis driver. If you've never gotten behind the wheel of a Genesis, make that decision coming up. Put them on your list. Airline at Pico, across from Women's Hospital. It's Genesis of Baton Rouge. As I mentioned, check out that entire inventory at genesisofbatonrouge.com.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
All right, let's do some housekeeping here. If you missed any of the show today, you can catch it on demand wherever you find your sounds. Search Hunt Palmer Show. Full shows available, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and of course on YouTube as well. If you're just looking for LSU, Hunt on LSU. Got all our LSU segments wherever you find your podcast, and of course on YouTube as well. Hunt on Saints for all your Saints content. Subscribe up to those channels. Always helps us get our content in front of as many people as we can, and it gets it to you immediately when we publish it. A couple of LSU videos just about every single day. Saints video every day as well. Hunt on LSU and Hunt on Saints. And then tomorrow, getting you caught up for our broadcast schedule. 1:30, Matt Musso, Charles Hannegriff, Eagle 98.1 game day from Rouse's. They'll go for 3 hours until 4:30. That's when the LSU Sports Radio Network takes over. That is me. I'll be alongside my partners in crime, Brandon Taylor and Marlon Favorite, for 90 minutes until we throw it to Clemson, South Carolina. They'll have the call of the game, Chris Blair, Jacob Hester, and Gordy Rush. 30 minutes after it goes final, back to me, Brandon, and Marlon for an hour-long post-game on the network. And then 90 minutes after the game goes final, Charles Hannegriff and Richard Dixon from right here in studio. Eagle 98.1 game day. So starting at 1:30 tomorrow. Lock us in all afternoon, all evening, into the wee hours of the morning for all your LSU and Clemson coverage. Looking very, very much forward to getting back in action on a game day tomorrow. All right. That's all we can do. Feels like, kind of a long time since LSU put the pads on to start fall camp. And it's finally here. It's LSU and Clemson. It is the best opponent that LSU has played in a season opener probably since 2011. You can make the case that Florida State team 2 years ago was very, very good, and I would listen to that case for sure. That Oregon team was very, very good in Dallas in 2011, just off a national championship loss to Auburn. And it's going to take a lot of effort for LSU to go there and win. Here is where I stand on both sides of the ball very briefly for LSU. I think the offense has incredible skill positions, and I'm concerned very much about the offensive line. They have to let those guys try to run block a little bit and sustain some sort of running game against a Clemson front that was gashed last year. That has to happen. If it does, LSU's going to have advantage matchups on the outside. But if it doesn't, and those Clemson pass rushers can pin their ears back, Nussmeier is going to be under duress, and that's when he can make mistakes and drives will stall. As far as Clemson on offense, Klubnik is very, very good. I think this LSU defense is going to be elite. I think it's going to be one of the best defenses in the Southeastern Conference. I think it will be one of the best defenses in college football. Losing A.J. Halsey is significant, but I think they've got depth that can mask that for a half. But K. Klubnik's going to get his. He's got 3 stud wide receivers. And they're going to throw the ball around a little bit, and they're going to get their first downs. But I think LSU is going to come to play defensively. I have said this from the start when breaking down this game. On this show, written at LouisianaSports.net, talked about it on Clemson Radio when I've been a guest. This is a game that I believe is going to go under. This is a game that I believe is going to be a battle of defenses. And I think it's going to be close late. Most people are picking Clemson to beat LSU. Clemson's a favorite. This game is on the road in Memorial Stadium. I get all of that. I picked Florida State to beat LSU 2 years ago. Last year, I really felt like LSU was in trouble in their secondary against Southern Cal. I picked LSU to win. I did it reluctantly. I'm picking LSU to win tomorrow. And I'm picking LSU to win tomorrow because I think the LSU defense is going to rise to the occasion and make things very difficult on Clemson. And I think LSU with a veteran quarterback will do just enough on offense to get it done. It's not going to be an up and down the field game. This is not Klubnik and Nussmeier going up and down the field. My final score prediction in this game is LSU 20, Clemson 17. I'm sincerely hoping that's the case. We're back here on Monday on a holiday, breaking it down. We've done that for a few years. It's been pretty somber around here. Let's change that on Saturday night. Come on, Tigers. We'll see you Monday. Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.